Hey, welcome back to Project Me. It's good to be back, team. I just had my exam earlier today, and let's just say contract law went fairly well, which is good. So let's just talk about it real quick. It won't be a long video, it's quite late here. Ready to go to bed, ready to enjoy my newfound freedom, which is not really freedom. But anyways, so the exam. Yes, I've spent 2 weeks studying for it. It's one of those things where, because I had nothing else to study for, which is a really rare thing in my law school, probably all law schools to be fair, I put all my effort into it, which is a good and a bad thing. But at the end of the day, the exam went fairly well. Like I said, went fairly well, which is good. Very time pressured, as law exams tend to be, particularly so, I found, with this one. Lots and lots of content to write about within an hour. It was about 50 minutes of multi-choice, 1 hour of written answers. So lots and lots of writing. I must have written about 2,300 words in that time, which is not an insignificant amount when you're under time pressure. But tricky. No one I spoke to after the exam finished. I myself got through all the questions but the last one, and I was running out of time, so I only bullet pointed the last question, and the second to last one was quite rushed as well. So hopefully get a few marks on that. I do know that the lecturer said that if the results were bad, he'd scale up. He wouldn't scale down, he'd scale up. So I feel like I've done fairly well, given, the circumstances. And I'm sure I'll be scaled up. I would not be surprised if I ended up with an A, possibly an A+, even despite not finishing that last question and rushing the second to last. I do feel pretty good about it. Which is good. I'm really glad, because I put so much effort into this, and it shows just how far I've come, I think. I've learnt a lot about law school in the past year. About a year ago today, actually, I was making a video about coming out of my exam and feeling absolutely devastated and recovering from defeat. And I remember thinking about that. It was horrible. I left the exam and I felt so lost. For someone like me who gets a lot of their motivation and self-worth from academic validation, leaving an exam feeling like it was the worst one you've ever done or ever performed on is a terrible, gut-wrenching feeling, and I never ever want to be in that position again. Last year I left the exam, my friends and I, we went out to a pub, ideally to celebrate, but we'd all taken the same exam. We all felt the exact same way. It was horrible. It was so depressing. So depressing. But we bounced back from that. We wrote down everything that went wrong. We talked about things we can do better. We reflected on the exam itself, what went wrong during it. And we came up with a list of things, of everything that had been bothering me. And I worked through exactly how to fix those things or take steps to prevent those things from happening in the future. And while not everything that I wrote down then has been addressed, some of it is still an underlying problem, we've taken huge steps in getting better, which is really all that matters in life, right? 1% better every day. And so I'm really pleased with how this particular test has gone. It's half my grade for the entire year, so it's pretty much 100% grade for a 1 trimester course, which is a scary thought. Scary thought indeed. But again, I've done as well as I could. I prepared as well as I probably could have prepared better. More questions and answers would have been handy, but only so much you can do about that. We've gotten this far. We've done enough, and I'm relatively satisfied, which is good. So there's no existential crisis this time like there was this time last year. Now, having said that, I've decided this is one of those really rare periods where I actually have a somewhat prolonged period of time where I don't have, there's not that much being demanded of me. So what I've decided to do is split it up, because I still have some assignments to do, namely the most important one being an essay for one of my law courses. What I've decided to do is split it up, like I said, into a week and a bit of very little work. Just chilling back. I have some work to do for my charity. Some admin that just needs to be done, and I've been putting off because I've been studying. So get that done. Do some admin around the house, cleaning up the windows. I live in a city with notorious condensation and builders who don't properly know how to do double glazed windows. So I need to clean my windows because there is some mold growing on it. Not healthy. I need to... there's some other stuff as well, but it's been good. It's been good. After the exam, my friend C and we went out to go get a steak. It's a lovely 2-for-1 deal at a restaurant. So we ate, sat there for a few hours, just talked about everything, and then came back here. Parents brought down an Xbox a few weeks ago, so turned it on for the first time in years and played Battlefront 1, which is a Star Wars game. Very nostalgic for me. I loved that game growing up, and it's just really fun playing it with someone else. And Cindy's not really a gamer, so teaching her how to play and playing with her was quite fun. She really enjoyed it, I think. We had a great time. So I had a great time after the exam as well. And so I'm riding out a high. I'm having an excellent time right now. And it's a nice change, given how I feel like I normally feel after exams. I never do as bad as I think I do, but even so, I feel better this time around, and hopefully that's not a bad thing. But plans for the next week when I'm not doing anything? I've got a few birthdays to attend to, because everyone and their mother has decided to have a birthday during this particular week, for some reason. Sorry, that's not a dig. It's a sarcastic comment. But in any case, tomorrow I've got a bit of work to do for the charity, I've decided, and then I'm heading over to a friend's birthday party. Besides that, I'll probably watch some movies over the break. Maybe read some books if I can, because God, I just don't read anymore. I mean, I read so much for law that every other bit of reading I do feels like a chore. So maybe I can actually get on with some fun reading. We'll see. I hope so. But I think that's it. I think we'll leave it there. I'm really pleased with how I've done. I don't have too much to reflect on in terms of substance, but again, really, really pleased. Well, pleased is the wrong word. I'm satisfied with how I've done, at least how I think I've done. But yeah. Listen, guys, all the best. I hope you all have an excellent week, or I hope it gets better if it's already bad, and I hope it isn't. But all the best, guys. Take care. Cheers.